Well, if you live in Hawaii, as beautiful as it is, my condolences go out to you because right now the government there and the county officials are literally taking the entire area off the freaking deep end. When you guys find out the two bills that they are trying to pass right now, they just put them through in January, you're going to freak the heck out because I've never seen something as Orwellian as what you're about to see. They've literally lost it there, and it's insane. But take a look at where I found it. This is on zerohedge.com. Hawaii bills would allow the government to quarantine people, enter property, seize firearms, and even suspend laws. And that's not the half of it, by the way. It gets fairly deep, but the Hawaiian legislature is advancing companion legislation that would formally codify sweeping emergency powers for the governor and county officials, including authority to quarantine individuals, enter private property without consent, suspend laws, seize control of infrastructure, under the justification of preparing for future disasters and disease outbreak. Now, the article goes on to state the two bills, right, that are involved, House Bill 2236 and Senate Bill 2151. They're titled Relating to Emergency Management and were introduced in January and February of 2026. And they are right now moving forward through both chambers. And here's the deal before I even go on. Although this is about Hawaii, please keep in mind that we are not exempt if we live in say, Arizona or California or all these other places, all these other states. We are not exempt because if something like this passes in Hawaii, you can mark my word that it'll start passing in other Democrat states. It's something that they're definitely going to do. So please don't cut this off if you're just from Hawaii. But here's the actual bills. You can see pictures of the bills, the two bills that they have. But the legislation explicitly cites COVID, of course, 19 as the justification for strengthening emergency authority, stating that the pandemic highlights the importance of a clear legal framework for state and county emergency management to ensure the state and counties are ready for any type of emergency. But what is really chilling is the words that they're actually including inside of this particular bill, right? The bill states, right? This is states that Hawaii Governor Josh Green may require the quarantine or segregation of people who are affected with or believed to have been exposed to any infectious, communicable, or other disease. They can put you in an area, lock you up in there. Not only that, but authorize. It gives them the full authority without permission of the owner or occupants to enter the private premises of any person for these purposes. So he doesn't need your permission to go after you and grab you for the quarantine. And then it goes on to state this because it gets even deeper than that. It also allows the government to destroy, like literally destroy your property if they think it's hazardous. It authorizes that public nuisances be summarily abate and, if need be, that the property be destroyed by any police officer or authorized person. Imagine you're in a state of emergency or whatever they declare, and you've got some police officer that doesn't like you. Well, now you can go into your home and completely destroy it. But that's not all. It goes on to state that the governor can suspend the laws in whole or part, including licensing laws, quarantine laws, laws relating to labels, grades, and standards. Not only that, but it can authorize suspension. You can be suspended. You can suspend any law that impedes or tends to impede emergency function. So you can put the First Amendment or whatever. I mean, obviously that's already on hold, but any law can be put on hold. And then it also goes on to say that any suspension of law may continue beyond the emergency period. In other words, when the emergency is over, they can still suspend that law. This is why this is one of the most craziest things legislation-wise that I have really seen. And then it goes on to state that the governor may assure the continuity of service by critical infrastructure facilities, both publicly and privately owned, by taking over and operating the same. Then we also, basically, you can take over all the utilities. It can regulate or prohibit the storage, transportation, use, possession of firearms and ammunition, and authorize the seizure and forfeit. So in the event of said catastrophe, they can go into all the homes if they want and take all your guns, all your ammo, anything they want to take out of your home, they can confiscate. Oh my goodness. Again, then it goes on, the governor shall be the sole judge, one person of the existence of the danger, threat, or circumstances given rise to a declaration. So if we've got one bodunk governor who's like, yeah, I'm going to call this declaration, he could literally call it on his own accord. Welcome to Hawaii. And then last but not least, the Senate version expands the legal definition of disaster, right? So it says, okay, disaster is not just a disaster, it's a disaster, or it's a contagion, outbreak, bioterrorism, terrorism, or incident involving weapons of mass destruction. So that is what the heck is going on in Hawaii right now. Talk about severe control. It's control over everything. Here's the bills again. And of course, I will leave them in the link below. But if you live in the area, I would highly advise you to send a message to the Senate there and say, hey, what the heck is all of this going on, to your leaders there, and just ask them, hey, does this really sound like a good idea? Because I think this is something that could definitely come back at people. But anyhow, wanted to share that with you guys. And like I said before, just because it's happening in Hawaii doesn't mean we're exempt, because if they get away with it there, they're going to do it other places. It's going to start first with Democrat places, and then we know a lot of Republicans are not real Republicans, and it could very well expand beyond that. And we're going to be limited where we can live anymore if all these Democrats have all these stipulations, right? Anyhow, with all of that, thank you for being here on my backup channel. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.